I cannot wait for Brady next year to be in the booth with Burkhardt. It's going to be great.
Me too.
Going to be great. Wow. I've never, listen, if you say to me Tom Brady's going to play next year, obviously I wouldn't be surprised, but I haven't heard people say there's a chance, maybe he doesn't do it at all. But I guess the recent stuff that's going on. No.
Wow.
I don't know.
I think there are people in the business that wonder. I mean, look, Peyton Manning's never done it, and there's a reason. It's a job.
Right.
It's a job.
I give Peyton
Do you
credit.
think Peyton Manning wouldn't get that kind of money?
Oh, I know he would. But I give Peyton credit because Peyton Manning has not played any, word games, and it comes right out and says, I don't want to call 17 weeks of full. They only do 10 Manning casts. I mean, I don't have to tell you, you know that. They only do 10 Manning casts, and he says, I don't want to work every week. That's what everyone should be that honest.
Absolutely. Yeah. But I also know that part of it is, do you want to get in that arena? Do you want to be, the person putting your opinion on play after play after play, coming up with something, critical, something witty, something analytical, something you want to stick your chin out over and over and over, weekend after weekend after weekend. Some people don't want to do that. Right. And it comes with a lot of extra pieces to the puzzle.
I do think, listen, do I think, he signed a 10-year contract. Do I think he's going to do 10 years? No. But I just think he's that like football lifer that wants to be in the game no matter what. I don't think he wants to coach, but I think he looks at this as a way to stay. I mean, I don't want to get into his personal life, but obviously him coming back played some role. Like he chose football in some way. Like I don't think if he retired after this year, I don't think he's just going to go off and play golf and eat his avocados and we'll never hear from him. I think he wants to be involved in football no matter. I listened to his radio show on Sirius XM this week. He waxed poetic for like 10 minutes about how awesome Germany was and the atmosphere. And he called it one of like the great sporting experience of his life. Like the guy I don't see him ever getting away from football. So I think broadcasting is a perfect way for him to stay in it.
Yeah.
Now, if he's good, who knows, that's the whole other story.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we talked about it back then, or maybe we haven't. Yeah. I don't know. I've done so many friggin' podcasts about my career lately.
And you love them all. You love them all.
I just don't remember who I told what to, but Fox brought him up to me back then. I mean, when Troy was out of the door, and then it was like, are you going to stay? Do you want to go? And it was like, well, we've had some interest from Tom Brady. I'm like, damn. I said, well, that's interesting. That's cool.
Jimmy Traina told me that was going to happen on the SI Media podcast.
Jimmy Traina
predicted it. There you go.
But yeah,
now I'm happy. That's all I needed. Now I'm happy.
Yeah. I said, okay. I said, that's exciting. I said, I don't know what you guys were not willing to pay Troy because they didn't want to talk to me about that. But I said it's going to be a little bit more than what Mr. Romo and Mr. Aikman are making wherever they end up, wherever Troy ends up. It's going to be a little bit more. And that was met with, well, we don't know that. And I said, yeah, you do. And so then I was like, I just don't know. I don't know that he's going to want to do it. I don't know that he's, who knows? So I hope he does. Who's been better on the field, and he's been just a great ambassador, and he knows the game. So let's go. I'd love to see it.
But
I'd like to keep doing games, by the way, with him playing. So I don't want to see him walk away yet.
Yeah,
I think he's still play.
It's amazing that he's still doing what he's doing. It's. I know he had a couple of bad games there, but I mean, the fact, like the way he played Sunday, he's 45 years old. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And he doesn't have any help right now.
No, I know. I mean, their offensive line is in shambles, and the running game, the running game's getting better, it seems like. But, you said Fox was dumb enough earlier to let Troy and me leave. I just think on some level, this is kind of what they wanted. I think when there was a crack in this,
but why
relationship? Because I think you've got new people in charge there, and relatively, and I think it's human nature to want to put your fingerprints and mold the broadcast as the boss the way you want to mold it. And I was hired by David Hill and Ed Goren, and I go back to 1994. And Troy, you know, people talk about how long I was there. Troy was at Fox for 21 years, and we both date back to another regime. And so Eric Shanks has kind of been the conduit from those days to now, but other people are in charge there as well. And I think they wanted a refresh, and they wanted a broadcast that I think reflected them a little bit, and a fresh start. And
does that hurt you in any way, or you understand it?
No, I understand. I'm saying I understand it. I think that's human nature. So I think there was kind of like, all right, well, you want to go. We'll live. We'll do this in our own, the way we want to do it now. You're the Hill Goren guys, and so I'm where I should be. And I think, ESPN was excited to bring those 20 years to their booth. And I think Fox was excited to start over and mold something different that didn't involve me.
Yeah.
And
it's worked out well for everyone.
I'm good with that. Yeah. And so,
I don't know. Does ESPN ever tell you how thrilled they are? I mean, they must be.
ESPN
they do.
That's different. Okay. Now that's different.
Okay.
I'm not used to that. And that's what I was going to say earlier about Troy. When I said, I'll tell you what I think about Troy when that was all going down. Troy heard for the first time that people liked what he did and thought he was good. And the same kind of happened to me. And I'm not, not to be a baby about it, but to go to a new place and to have bosses go, oh my God, this is everything we hoped it would be. And, like we talked about, this is a good starting year. It's going to take off, I think, next year with the flex scheduling. It's going to have an even bigger feel to it. But yeah, to be at a place where you've got the top man on down talking about Jimmy Pitaro and people below with Steph Drewley and Lee Fitting and Steve Ackles and these people that I've gotten to know, PR department, the feedback has been just awesome. So you feel appreciated, and that's it's baby stuff to talk about, but they appreciate you by the check they write. I'm old enough to know that, but it's also nice to get a pat on the back and hear, hey, we're glad you're here.